Welcome to another day in the Matrix, waters above crypto. I'm sending you all love and high vibrations. Well, looks like my last video aged well. That shakeout within 48 hours that I warned about came to life in the charts. And now in today's video, I'm going to share what I see happening for Bitcoin and XRP in the immediate short term, and started off with a Gematria decode that will connect the dots on why this week in particular is so important for the rest of this bull run. And also later today, I'll be releasing a new line of merch for 1111. Happy 1111 Wolfpack. And anyone who's a Patreon supporter of mine will get a discount code for the new merch. I'll be updating everyone later today when that goes live. It's going to be a new t-shirt, long sleeve tee, hoodie, and a crew neck sweatshirt. It's going to be lit. So if you're new here, we do cryptocurrency technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, Numerology, and Astrology to understand these markets. Feel free to subscribe and turn on the bell notification to stay updated on when new videos come out. And make sure to give this video a like and share this channel with other conscious people to help grow this community. And for those of you that want to learn how to do technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, you can join my Mastermind course. My email's in the description box to get in contact with me for access to the course. And with that being said, let's take the red pill. Lots to go over today with our decode. So of course, today being 11/11, we know that's a very important date, but the thing that I wanted to point out was this connection to Rosh Hashanah. So with this date right here of 9/7/2021, like I've been mentioning in all the videos in the past week, it has had a strong connection to how this whole bull run has been operating. And this tie between these 2 days gives us 2 months and 4 days. And this 24 number is very powerful. So over here, you can see Rosh Hashanah spelled out gives us the 204 in the reverse ordinal cipher. And in the rules of numerology, you remove the zeros. So that gives us the 24. And this is very important because today is Thursday or Thor's Day, the day of Jupiter, and the Jupiter zodiac logo is of course the 24. All right, so this is something that I've been talking about for a while now, but now we're seeing these days happen live, and we could see the volatility in the price action showing us exactly why this code is so important. So one other thing to mention was yesterday's date when we had that little correction. It was the 314th day of the year, and that's pi, so 3.14. And this connection to pi is really important because it's the circumference or the ratio of a circle's circumference. And our clock that we use to measure time, of course, is a circle. And even the sundial and the sun itself, it's perceived as a circle. That's the optical illusion we see, at least. So this clock measuring time, and we know a day is 24 hours. And that's why this 24 number is really important, because it's the cycle between Horus and Set. Horus runs the daytime and Set runs the nighttime. And that battle between light and dark brings this balance to our reality. So let's decode this a little more, right? We have 24 hours giving us that 33 in full reduction. We know that 33 is all about transmutation. It's the 33rd degree in which water goes from the state of being ice to a liquid again, transmutation. So another thing we could type in is 24 hours. And we're seeing a very important thing here. We're seeing that 77. And remember, the month of September, sept is a 7, okay? Like octagon, like a stop sign is an octagon. That's the 8. So September is actually the 7th month. So the Rosh Hashanah date was actually, in numerology, it would be 7/7, okay? Septa is 7. So that 77 connection is powerful. And of course, we are in Shemitah, and Shemitah is the 7-year cycle, the sabbatical year. So this is really amazing how this is all connecting back to itself. Also, today's date numerology would be the 63. And this 63 connection ties back to 7-year cycle, okay? With the 63. And we've been pointing this out. Remember that 72? That 72 is coming back to Bitcoin, okay? But remember, this 63 we've been talking about all week. We've been talking about this number over and over and over again, and how it ties back to today's date numerology. It's absolutely incredible. And tomorrow is important because it gives us this connection right here. of the 49. Okay, it gives us 49 days left in the year, and the square root of 49 is 7, or 7 sevens. And 77, this gets even crazier, guys. 77 gives us 49. It's all Gematria, everyone. Okay, and this is it's 66 days since the start of Shemitah. So I'll show you that right here. So we have the date of Shemitah, we have the 12th of November, and that gives us 66 days in between. All right, so you're gonna see these 66s continue to pop up, as mentioned in my last video, of course. And the day after this day, the 13th, gives us the 317th day of the year, and that is the 66th prime number. Okay, and the day after that, the 14th, has the 66 date numerology when you add up 11 plus 14 plus 20 plus 21, which is the way that I like to add up the date numerology, besides doing standard date numerology, which would be this one right here, essentially removing zeros. Okay, and adding up one digit at a time. That would be standard date numerology, but I like to do it this way because I figured out that it's a very unique way of doing the numerology, and it's very powerful when I'm doing cryptocurrency decoding. And here's another big connection about this day. Okay, we have the 66 date numerology, and also it will be 2 months and 7 days since Rosh Hashanah, and that 27 comes back to Jupiter with the 27 in Chaldean, and then the reverse of the 27 comes back to Bitcoin with the 72. So this is really powerful stuff, but I just showed you 3 66 numerology connections in a row. Okay, so we had the tomorrow being this 66 days since the start of Shemitah, and then we have the day after that, which is the 317th day of the year, which is the 66th prime number, and then we have the day after that giving us the 66 date numerology when added up like this, and this is where it gets a little deep. So we have 66, 66, 66, these 3 double 66, giving us, of course, 36. And I've been talking about this number quite a bit lately because we're in Scorpio, which is the scorpion, and that's giving us 36 in Chaldean, and we're also in the month of November, which gives us the 36 in Chaldean. You see where this is going, everyone? Of course, Bitcoin giving us the 36 in full reduction. Ethereum giving us the 36 in Chaldean. Ethereum is ether, which is the upper air that the gods breathe in Greek mythology. And this is all coming back to 3 6s, and 3 6s is 666, which comes back to 18. And 18 reduced gives us the 9, and that 9 is very powerful because the month of November, which we are currently in, is actually the 9th month of the year. Again, like the example I gave with October, Oct being 8, which means naturally in our sequence, November would be the true 9th month in the year. Of course, we're on the Gregorian calendar, which is a scam. This real month would be the 9. And this 9 is really powerful. It's really powerful because it's the last digit before we reset the number sequence. Of course, 10 would just be 1 and 0, and that 1 and 0 is the binary code. It's the quantum computing realm. So that's a little deeper. I don't want to get too deep into that, otherwise this video will be very long, but what I'm trying to say here is this 9 November. Of course, it's natural that they wanted to end the calendar moving into December because Des is 10, Deci, and this comes back to the death of the Christ, etc. Everything that has to deal with Julius Caesar and basically redoing time in and of itself, essentially manipulating time. So this is really fascinating because nova, the prefix, nova means new in Latin, and of course new gives us that 42. And 42 is the mirror of 24, and of course this all goes back to the beginning of our decode, right? So the zodiac logo being flipped gives us that 42, and of course that 42 is showing up in Saturn, who is the king of earth, or father time, and father time rules the 24-hour cycle. Transmutation. Okay, so let's get into our price action and technical analysis. So this is going to get really wild. I'm going to go on the 1 minute chart just for shits and giggles. and just show you how manipulated this market is. It's an absolute joke. This might take a moment. I should actually turn off all of these indicators to help my computer speed out a little bit. And I'm just going to show you exactly what's going on here. So the shakeout that we got was beautiful because you can see that we actually went to lows before going to highs. And this shakeout between 66,000 on the nose to 69,000, exactly 4.5% gain. Okay, and where does that 4 or 5 come back? Comes back to Bitcoin, 45 in the reverse full reduction cipher. Okay, so this was, I'll show you how manipulated this market is, okay? The low that we got was a shakeout. It's called a bear trap. We hit new lows and then just completely move up in the opposite direction in a straight line to 69,000. And remember, I said this in my last video. I warned people. I would not be surprised if we went to 69 first before a correction. And where did I get that 69 number from? I got it from Saturn, 69. And that's very important because Saturn runs this entire market. It runs money, essentially, along with the sun and the moon. And I don't want to get too esoteric and too deep to stay on track, but this is very important that people know why I gave that 69K call out. The bigger reason for it was that tie back to Saturn, and Saturn, of course, is Satoshi Nakamoto, okay? And Satoshi Nakamoto is the 181, giving us that 40-second prime, okay? Just like new gives us 42, all right? And new is what crypto is. It's the new money. Blockchain technology is the new way that we transact on a global scale, peer-to-peer, etc. You guys should all know this by now. So, anywho, with this move that we got being 4.5% gains is just the tip of the iceberg of this decode, everyone. So we're going to move from highs all the way over to lows. And you're going to see it was 7 hours and 7 minutes, 77. This is a game, all right? Now let's measure from the highs to the lows. From 69 exactly down to lows. You see what we're getting? 8.8%. So we made a drop of 8.8% in 7 hours and 7 minutes. I'll show you exactly. Like, absolutely manipulated. And I've done this before in my mastermind course to help people see how this is all rigged, okay? So, of course, this is a little hard to do with precision right now as I'm making a video, but it was essentially exactly a move from high to low, 8.8%, 7 hours and 7 minutes on the nose, all right? So this market is a game, all right? It's a game, and we are one of the few communities on Earth that is able to see that it is all ran by the Gematria code. So that's 77. Remember, we were talking about a little earlier in the decode, 49, square root of 7, 7 sevens. And this is something important to remember because we are currently in that Jubilee cycle. Jubilee would be 7 cycles of 7, which gives us 49 years, which means on the 50th year, we have something called Jubilee. And that is what we are actually transitioning into right now, okay? Ever since the start of September, Rosh Hashanah, we entered the Hebrew year of 5,782, which is the 22. 5 plus 7 plus 8 plus 2 gives us 22. And we're in the Gregorian year of 2022, okay? This is the start of a wealth transfer, which will lead into a financial collapse and financial chaos, all right? And you heard it here months ago. I've been saying this for a while now. And we just saw Zillow, which, again, if you're not from America, this might not be important to you, but they've basically stopped purchasing houses and started selling inventory at 15 to 20% discount. And it's not even 2022 yet. So there's clearly an issue here in housing. And I'm just waiting to see how it all shakes out, because I'm assuming that by February or March of 2022, we're going to start to see this entire market, crypto, stocks, all things besides the dollar, besides the DXY, will be substantially down from where they are today. So let's get into some of the TA here. I do know that we have a 3-day close tonight. Excuse me. And our 3-day is actually looking pretty strong. We're actually trading the candle body above prior candle body resistance. So this is pretty solid. And I've said this many times. I've told everyone, whatever corrections we have, it will be bought up very quickly. So everyone wants to know, like, are we going to get more of a correction? I mean, it's absolutely possible, because in the prior bull run, we came down into the 12th. And I think we might be just 1 day off of the prior 2 cycles. So what I'm saying by that is we hit highs in the last cycle, I believe on the 8th or the 7th, and then the cycle before that we hit it on the 9th, and then this cycle we hit it on the 10th. So it was like a very crazy transition, how it all went, how we're only 1 day different from 2 cycles. It's an almost identical algorithm playing out. Beautiful that we have been able to figure that out here. So anyways, from a structural perspective, this is very strong looking, and there's really nothing to say about the macro closures. Same thing here. If we were to close today at the levels we're at, which is the 5-day close that's coming in, very powerful close, by the way, 5 being a Fibonacci number, any close above 63.2, 63.3 would essentially be closing the highest 5-day closure ever. So take that into consideration on tonight's closure, because it will be the highest 5-day candle, and a 5-day candle is very strong. So let's consider that. Now on the daily, this is looking fine. We had new closures on highs on the 8th, and we even saw new all-time highs yesterday before the correction. And that's typically how corrections happen in crypto. We see a pump up followed by a liquidation event to the downside. This is to shake out longs. Okay. And it's going to be the other direction in probably just a couple of days. We're going to see a bear trap again before continuation. So this 888 level is extremely strong, and I'm anticipating that this is going to hold, and any wicks below that are just going to be wicks. It would be a gift to see daily closes below 60 again. Let's pull up some of our moving averages and see what's going on here. So we can see that the 34 exponential moving average is getting towards the 888. I mean, come on, guys. Like, you can't expect much lower than this at this time. The 55-day simple moving average is about to get towards the 786 fib. This is again solidifying my feeling as to we're probably not going below 57K ever again. The best opportunity we could possibly get at this time would be a double bottom of the October 28th lows. That'd be the best opportunity. And I've told you guys on the 16th of November, it will be a 56-day cycle, I believe. Yep, you can see that right here from the lowest low that we've seen in the more, I guess you could call this a more macro structure at this point. September 21st, which was the full moon after the start of Shemitah, we saw lows coming down to 39, and then we've basically just been in a beautiful uptrend since. Ever since that day, if we measure over 56 days, we're seeing the connection to the 16th of November. So the 16th, 17th, and 18th are not out of the cards, because that would be the 56 to 58 day cycle. And that's very normal. We've seen this before. I've showed you in my work so many times. This 56 to 58 day cycle is very powerful. And remember, today being that 66th date is since Rosh Hashanah is also very important. Let me just quickly show you how powerful this stuff is. So if also look at the low. The low that we got before we started the uptrend on July 20th, we hit 30K, pretty much 29K. How many days is that? Since the Rosh Hashanah? 49. Remember? 49, square root of 7. Everything about Shemitah is about sevens. But it'll get even crazier. Look at the low here on the 22nd of June. It was 77 days. Let's measure. This gets even more insane. From the biggest dip we've gotten, 111 days, the May 19th lows. Okay, guys, this is just a big game, and it's running on Gematria Numerology and Astrology. So from Rosh Hashanah over 66 days would be tomorrow, and then 77 days would be the 23rd, and that's something that I'm also considering, but I think by this date we will already be at new highs. So it could look something like this, and this is very dramatic seeming, but it's actually not. Let's just say over the next 2 or 3 days we do correct down into 60. It'll be something like this, where we get up to maybe 76, 77, and then on the 23rd, just boom, a nice little dip, and then continuation into the end of the month around Hanukkah. That's kind of something I see happening if we're gonna play this out according to the technicals. So all in all, any shakeouts at this time are going to be very quick buying opportunities, not financial advice. So from a perspective of the macro closures on the 3-day and the 5-day, everything is extremely bullish. We know that we've already hit new highs. So right now we're just seeing a little bit of downwards pressure, and any closures today in the 60 above 63K is just normal. We've even seen this 21 exponential on the daily closes have been a very strong candle body close price level to consider. So right now that would be 62.5. And this isn't going to move too much now because we're going pretty much sideways for multiple weeks now. So if we are going to flash below that for any period of time, we're still capable of being bought back up right to closing above the 21. So all in all, it's still kind of the same story. I'm just giving my immediate short-term price thesis. So I do not see below 58, and I see that this 34 exponential would be a very good level to hold, considering all things. The 888 fib is absolutely an important level to consider as well. Let me take a sip of water. So much talking. Okay, so I'm not going to go over ETH because that's kind of unimportant right now, but I do want to talk about XRP. So with XRP, this was beautiful. I have something that's going to blow your mind. All right, you ready for this? You ready to have your mind blown? Ripple, XRP, gives us 134 in the English ordinal. Where was the price we hit yesterday before correction? $1.34. This market is a game, and Gematria runs the market. Okay? This is, you can't doubt it anymore. There's no dispute. You guys know I've been using Gematria to call every single bottom on XRP. I called the 51 cent back here. I called the 86 cent back here. And this 134 is mind-blowing. Ripple XRP giving us 134. And of course, we hit $1.34, followed by a bigger correction. And on most charts, XRP corrected back to $1.11, the 111. And why is that so important? Because we were transitioning into the date of 11/11. It's all about the ones, right? And this entire market runs on New York time zone or Eastern time zone. And of course, New York gives us the 111. All right? It's rigged. It's all rigged. And we just know it. So this is amazing. This blew my mind when I saw this connection, because when I saw the sell wall at 134, I already knew Ripple XRP was 134. Look at it. We got rejected on the 15th at the same exact level. It's a game. Absolute game. So this is something to consider, of course, because we never got above the highs of Rosh Hashanah. And I've been telling everyone, until we start closing dailies above 140, don't get excited and anticipate sideways until the end of November, moving into December. And that is precisely what happened. And you know how many people got trapped in longs up here and got liquidated? It will blow your mind, okay? So this is beautiful to see it all come to fruition exactly how I shared in my analysis over every video in the past 2 weeks. So the 5-day closure probably looking okay, but nothing impressive. Yep, we would still be below all this trading range on the 5 days. So until we get a 5-day close above $1.26, it's just sideways. And on the downside, this is just building a lot of support in this region anyways. 3-day close, 3 days looking actually pretty strong. It would be nice to see it hold the 115 level across the board, because that would be the level of what was trying to be a support and got flipped as a resistance. And now you could see here we have back tested that level a bunch of times around $1.16. But ultimately, like, we do need to start closing macro candle time frames above these levels over here. Until then, it's just more sideways and building a lot of strength. You know, I mean, I actually like all this price action for XRP in the mid $1 range, or in the $1 range, because that tells me at the end of the bull run, this is most likely going to be a level we magnetize down to, which is great. It would be beautiful to never see a sub $1 XRP ever again, even 5 years, 6 years down the line. And you know, I'm a technical analyst, so I'm not giving anyone hype about the SEC or any of this bullshit. That's all nonsense. It doesn't actually matter. Gematria, numerology, and astrology run this market. The government and all the news and the Twitter shit, that doesn't do anything. And you guys, anyone who's been following me for any length of time knows that I don't need to prove that anymore. So one of the things to consider about our daily close is this is showing a potential head and shoulders in a very short-term time frame. We've got left shoulder head and potential right shoulder. Now, I don't really care too much about patterns at this time, but I do see a swoop down in the cards for XRP around the 110 or even this 55 simple moving average, which is around $1.08 at this time. So if I perhaps I have some trend lines going on some other charts. I'm not entirely sure. Let me check out my chart right here. Oh man, this was a very good resistance line. So we had from prior all-time high, we had the rejection around Rosh Hashanah, and then we've been struggling with it over here. And the daily close below this trend line, a close below $1.20. Again, also that would be below the 8 simple moving average. That would show us that there will be some pressure to the downside, and that's beautiful. That's one final opportunity before continuation. And then we have, pretty much same trend line, but we could see there's a down, a support trend line that's coming in that I had kept on my charts, and that's holding us pretty much at $1.15. So I think on the daily closes, we're squeezing really tight into this longer term. You could call it a triangle, but it doesn't really matter at this point. We kind of all generally understand that a $1 XRP is still substantially lower than where it's projected to go from a technical perspective, a gematria perspective, all things. So it's all just kind of opportunity. Quick words on ETH. This is incredible. Like, oh my goodness, I've never seen such a strong uptrend, but it is like a rising wedge. And I don't know. Something's got to give on this thing. It is really coiling up into this apex. So I suspect a shakeout needs to happen eventually. This coin can't just keep trending up like this. Such a strong project, and it could be because we have so much shit coins in this market now that ETH has kind of been priced out from lower barrier of entry investors, and now ETH has shown its maturity. So that's making me really bullish on ETH next cycle. I'm going to accumulate a lot more ETH because of the way of its maturity in the chart. That's something you guys need to remember that I just said. Like, a real investor seeks strength in the charts. And that's kind of something that might be counterintuitive to some people's investment thesis. But once you learn TA properly, and then you learn Gematria Numerology Astrology and combine it all together, you're going to have a way stronger position in this market than 99% of the investors out there. So ETH is impressing me, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't know if I gave my upside target on XRP is essentially any daily closes above the 0.5 fib again, which show me strength and continuation moving up to around $1.34. But then this 618 is all I care about at this time for a big move up. And then on the downside, it would be the 382 fib, somewhere around the 55 simple moving average. That'd be a great bounce level for continuation. And that would also be another higher low. So you have your low, low, higher low, and then you would have an additional higher low, even if we went down to $1.07, $1.06. And $1.05 would not be weird for me, because the 105 in numerology would be the 15, and that 15 comes back to XRP, of course, and the Chaldean cipher. So that would be really beautiful to see that. I'm not saying it will happen, but imagine like on the 22nd or the 23rd of this month, we got a test of $1.05. That'd be really cool. Again, I'm not saying that'll happen, but it wouldn't surprise me. Just like I said, I'm not saying we will hit 69K, but it wouldn't surprise me if we did and then had a pullback. That's pretty much exactly what happened too. So I don't know, man. Maybe the Holy Ghost is giving me my call outs from the other side of the firmament. Anyways, so if anyone wants access to more exclusive content that I'm making, you could become a Patreon supporter of my Mastermind community membership, which is at patreon.com/watersabove. I also launched a new website, watersabovecrypto.com. My courses are now currently there, and then links to my Patreon and merch. And then again, I'm dropping new merch later on today. It's going to be really sick. And then anyone who's a Patreon supporter of mine, I'll be sharing a discount code on my Patreon later today. So, yep, that is my update for the day. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Oh, also, and I'll be doing a live stream tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day in the Matrix. Much love.